Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a weekly video podcast where we talk about all of the latest and greatest happenings in VGC. And today, I am joined by three fantastic guests. I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Alex. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's my first time on the channel since last year. Haha.
Aha. And we were talking about how long can we get away without talking about Regulation G, and I think it is finally time that we have to do it. So here we are, begrudgingly.
I gotta steal Justin's bit for this because I almost couldn't have made it onto this one because I'm pretty confident it's norovirus. Like it's basically just, if you look it up, it's called the winter vomiting disease, and like that's what it is. I was just throwing up a lot the past couple of days. It was not nice.
And frankly, it was at the idea of being on Tub Takes. It had nothing to do with his illness. It was crazy.
It just spawned in my body. Like I just suddenly was like,
oh my god, 2 more hours with Aditya. Jesus Christ.
No, it was just the thought of Regulation H finally truly dying. You know, maybe Reg I will just be
Regulation H.
Which, by the way, wait, have we agreed? Have they what does it say in game right now? Is this Reg G like? Is it just called Reg G again?
Yeah.
It's not called I, right?
Nope.
No. Yeah. No. It's like, you know, when someone forgets to the ABCs and A B C D E F G H G G. Go back on G.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get through the intro first. We got two more guests that we have to talk about. They've already started talking. So Roshan, hello, how you doing?
I'm doing well. This is my last time on the channel this year. I
mean, until you win another Regulation G regional, right?
I have not played my last 2 regionals. I dropped by round 5, and I haven't really played any amount of Reg G yet. So I'm just as qualified to discuss tiers
as the rest
literally every other tier list on this fucking thing. I'm just as qualified to give Reg G takes.
Yep. And then last but not least, we got Jody. How you doing?
Yo, that's me, Jody. I think I make videos, so I'm obligated to make a tier list, but also I'm obligated to tier list with you guys, the tier list of the tier list, which is what we're here to do.
It's true.
Also, quickly, we just need to talk about fuck Justin Tang, right? Like, just generally speaking.
Yeah.
We're doing his idea, his original content. We're stealing it. I just want to make that clear.
Well, didn't Jody start this technically?
Yes. He stole Jody's bit before we could steal Jody's bit. I'm very upset.
Jody consistently steals your bits, right? Like Jody just stalks the Tub TV Discord channel, going, "Oh, that sounds funny. What if I got 30,000 likes by posting that?"
No.
All right, you guys. I have to confess. The original person to say we're making a tier list of a tier list, and this is for those who know, is actually Sierra Dawn, who posted it a week ago.
Yeah. Oh, I have no problem plagiarizing Sierra.
Roger loves to steal a woman's work.
Well,
it's a new day. Yeah. It's a new dawn.
So,
oh my god, 2025 is a crazy year, guys.
No, I mean, honestly, So the thing is, we have to talk about Regulation G, but there is not actually all that much to talk about. So I guess we can just riff on this instead. You know, this is just way better. I don't know. There's not. We can. Let's get into it. We'll have a chance to talk about how little there is to talk about at some point. But first, I do have some announcements.
So little to talk about. This format fucking sucks.
So first and foremost, there are a couple regional registrations opening up tomorrow. This is tomorrow if you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, then it's today. And also, if you're watching on Twitch and you can't watch the entire thing, you can watch the entire thing on YouTube.
Oh, this one's relevant to me. Hold on, I have to pay attention.
Yes.
Hello, buddy.
That's right.
And Vancouver has Vancouver is one of the regionals that's opening up, and they tweeted specifically the Vancouver TOs that the registration allotment is going to be less than what we've been used to in other regionals. So I think this one's actually going to be a fight. Like San Antonio is up for a minute. A lot of them didn't fill up right away this year, even though we're kind of used to things filling up right away. So if you have like an inkling of wanting to sign up, you kind of like sign up right away and then waste your $70. But Vancouver's probably actually going to fill out like right away.
Yep. I'm curious what they said. It was going to be a smaller number than usual. I wonder if I can find that tweet. But I wonder what that means, because we've been having like 800 person regionals.
It means the Vancouver Convention Center is fucking tiny, is what it means.
That's true. It is a very nice convention center. It's like right on the ocean. It's a beautiful place. So I do get that. So yeah, sign up for that if you're going to sign up for that. That's important. Also, I think the other regional was in Brazil, if I recall correctly. So if you're going to that event, you should
pronounce the location, Adi.
Let me find it again. I just tabbed out of it. Fortaleza. Is that right?
That's not probably.
It's fine, honestly. I mean, hopefully it's pronounced like it looks like, because okay, Adi's got it.
Fortaleza is not the right place. I don't actually know where this is. It is Brazil. Okay, cool. Yeah.
It's kind of funny to hear.
What is a distillery in Tequila, Mexico?
It's kind of funny to think that like I did not know this one was going to be like a competitive registration, I guess. And like this is my only event, like not my only event, but like I'm not doing anything until this event. And so if I missed this one, like I don't know how long my break would be. I mean, I think I would just be skipping the entirety of Reg G, which is like a win in some ways. But I would like to go to the one that's like drivable for me. That's like the main reason I want to go to Vancouver, is that it is just a drive for me, and that would be
how long
super unfortunate to miss. It's like 3 hours for me.
Oh, that's super good.
Unless I'm going to the wrong one. In this case, it's actually quicker to go to Vancouver, Washington, which is 2 hours away. That bit never gets old ever since I moved here, but it's just ridiculously stupid. Jody, you would know. It's like it's very close by, right?
The NPC line is that you get from being in Vancouver, Washington, you get the no income tax plus no sales tax. You just go to Portland because it's right there. But I'm in the same boat. I've been offered to drive up there, and like, although I'm saying I'm taking a Reg G break, like, I mean, like, if there's an event that is driving, that someone's offering to drive, like,
right,
it would be silly for me to say no. So like, maybe I didn't know that. Yeah. In fact, I probably would have ignored registration if you guys didn't say that it'd be competitive.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it actually will be competitive. It's just they explicitly decided to announce that it would be smaller caps, and West Coast isn't. I mean, actually, y'all have that. West Coast has had Sacramento, and West Coast has had one other one, right? LA already. So LA was last season. But still, folks will probably want to sign up.
Yeah. And I mean, Vancouver is one of those cities that actually, I have a video about this. Hold up. Me and my brother did a top takes when no one else wanted to do it, where we ranked all the regional locations.
No one still wants to do it, man. None of us wants to be here.
I'm happy to be here.
Anyways, point being, I've heard this is the
Jigglypuff in Jody's background is how we all feel.
The people who watch this top takes have told me it's the best top takes of all time. It's just me and my brother riffing for 3 hours almost about all the locations. And Vancouver is behind New Orleans, I think, the single best location for our regional. So it's worth going to if you can go to it.
I'm sorry, but I'm just now looking at this tier list, and it might as well be written in a different language. I don't know sports teams, man. Like, what is this?
I'm looking at this tier list, and I have beef because LA is definitely one of the worst cities I've been to, and it's an A tier. I like how everything.
Okay.
The best part is he couldn't actually keep the beat. Like, he couldn't keep the bit the whole time. So he just has like Hawaii in one part, and then like the Confederate flag. Those are the only two things that are just there. He just like couldn't get sports teams for all of them. So it was an awful bit.
Wait, so did you say the Confederate flag?
I did say the Confederate flag in future.
Bro, that's
not what that is, but I just wanted to.
That's Puerto Rico.
Okay, well now I'm a fucker. But I didn't know that was Puerto Rico. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing is like, how else do you how else do you describe locations in an image form, in a square image, right? It's kind of hard to do. So.
LA.
Yeah. Okay. That's too much work. Just I want something at Google. Anyways, I do think Vancouver is a really cool city. I've had a great time every time I go there. I think last time I went to Vancouver was the worst regional I've ever been to performance-wise since 2020, or 2019 or something like that. But despite that, I had a great time. So yeah, it is a great city, and I think you should go if you can.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that one a couple more months down the line when that one's coming up and we're previewing it. So,
and then
in the meantime, though,
in the meantime, for me, the only events that I'm attending in Regulation G, as far as I know, are these ones that are on screen right now, which are the Global Challenges, whose dates have been announced. We do have the 4 Global Challenges, which of course are the ones that Japan and Korea and the rest of Asia can participate in to qualify for their respective nationals. So we have the dates for those. We knew the months, now we know the days. So you can see on screen, January 31st to February 2nd is the Global Challenge 1, which is the first one coming up. And then we also have the dates for February, March, and April. Then there's one more Grand Challenge in May that we obviously don't know the dates for, but it is nice to have this confirmed. Again, there's a lot of championship points on the line for these. We'll talk about these more as they come up, and we've talked about them a little bit in the past, but I do think these will be really fun because this format is kind of crazy in Best of One. There's a lot of wild stuff you can do, and there's a lot of power centralized in one place. And so if you get cheesed out of your restricted, the game kind of ends a lot of the time. And so it turns into a very different format when you can't see where all the threats are coming from. So I've basically exclusively been playing Best of One so far, and I've been having a lot more fun playing Best of One in Regulation G than Best of 3 in Regulation G. Are you guys excited for the Grand Challenges?
It's a Reg G tournament, man.
I agree with Adi's take. I'd agree with Adi's take here, is that it's going to give a bit of as much fresh life as you could put into a completely dead horse, or whatever you want to call a horse, pun intended. But it is probably the most interesting way that we can play Reg G at this point, because I don't know, I don't really have that much excitement for the best of 3 side of it. I will say it's really nice that we have all these dates much further in advance. I mean, of course, the whole world is happy to have this time to plan around it, but I think it's especially important for Japan to be able to know what weekends they need to be setting aside time for these, because this is their world's qualification structure and stuff. So it's nice that they have all these dates announced in advance.
Shout out. So how does it work in Japan? So it's if you hit the requisite rating in one of these, then you are put into a you have qualified for the qualifier for Nats, is how that works, right?
Correct. You have to finish, I believe it is top 150, if I recall correctly, to qualify.
In any of these.
Top 120. Last year was top 150, but there were only 3 of them. This time it's top 120. I can pull this on screen. There's going to be another tournament from there, which is online on May 11th, and the top 64 players. I believe that is also the GC formatted tournament, and the top 64 players from that one get to go to the live in-person finals. So, yeah, top 120 from each of them.
It literally says, so is the May 11th not going to be our next GC weekend then?
No,
I don't think so.
No,
because
we get only 8 Gs, right?
Wait, no, this is their
we got 3 though, right?
It's a separate thing, Rajan. No,
yeah,
there's 4.
This one is invite only. So only the 480 players who qualify can play in this tournament, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
have we had 4 already or 3?
We've had 3.
So we still have one more after that.
And we have one more in May,
so
which will be in Regulation I.
Wait, we got another? Because we had 3. Oh, you guys are
we have 8 total.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do just have one after all of the global challenges, one more that will be called a grand challenge again. I'm guessing same kind of circumstances as the previous ones, where Asia and such are not allowed to participate. So
that's why I'm just hypey thinking that it's we're going to be sharing the May weekend and getting they'll just be filtering through. I guess maybe that doesn't make all that much sense, but
it's not a non-zero chance or anything. They could do it that way, but who knows? We'll just kind of have to see when the dates roll up. But
gotcha.
It is interesting that they they trimmed down the number of people that get invited in each wave. There is an extra wave, and I had to, punch the numbers in my calculator because I didn't feel like doing simple math. It's only 30 more people that are being allowed into the qualifier, and then top 64 is still the same from what it was last year.
Team Rocket Elite's saying that it's a 1-day tournament specifically, so that probably essentially confirms that it won't be that weekend for us.
Well,
wait, they're doing a 1-day? Is it like a 1-day 15 game thing then?
Maybe something like that. I could see that. It's like 3 hours, right? It might be one of those type tournaments.
Yeah.
So the other thought is, do we recall if in previous years, or the previous year, like, if you can gatekeep, like, can you just like get your qualification in Q1 and then just like steal a spot by doing well in Q2, 3, 4?
I can't remember if you're eliminated from the standings or not.
Take you out.
I don't know.
I don't think you can gatekeep. I feel like it's probably 480 unique individuals, but
I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure about that. We'd have to ask someone who is more familiar with it. If anyone in chat is more familiar with the Japan qualifiers, I'm curious about that. But yeah, I think that top 120 is pretty doable. I think. I know John Hu is in Japan now. He qualified last year in the top 150, and so now you got 4 shots at it. There are more people qualifying overall. I think so. Yeah, it should be.
He killed it. He was way above the 150 threshold that one time. So
yeah.
There's more people qualifying for the qualifier though.
Yes.
Still the same amount of in terms of like worlds though.
And Nash.
Yeah,
all right, Nash could just say hold on.
Later.
Okay.
Yeah, Nash is confirming that if you did qualify before, you aren't counted, so it does not double count. There are 480 players who will be qualified for this one. Now, the fun part is last year, I remember the top 10 or so, 15 or so players were all Western players from Europe or North America or Australia or whatever. And then it was like 120, 130 Japanese players, and then a smattering of American and European players popping back up. But everyone kind of parked it if they got to that top 120, top 130-ish range from Japan. This year, of course, we have a lot more to fight for. So I'm very curious how the ratings are going to pan out, because now, this time, we don't know our exact standing with respect to championship points, where a lot of people wanted to park in the top 32 range. And so that is going to be another interesting dynamic. And I think it's going to be a lot fairer, because now everyone just kind of has to try to maximize their rating instead of trying to play the waiting game and just barely break into top 32.
Speaking of barely breaking the top 32, I do think that your specific GC, where you like thought you were 32nd and then were 33rd and then went back to 32nd, then went back to 33rd, then went back to 32nd, is probably like, I don't know how you landed on that, like finally, but I do still think that's like that's the funniest fucking like bubbled out story.
It's pretty funny.
It's just ridiculous. Are you 33rd now?
I'm 33rd now. I think it's locked in now. So that means I do have to get 2 top 32s in these GCs, which is why I am playing Regulation G and I am taking these best of 1 tournaments a lot more seriously.
Wait. Sorry. So if I get 32nd, but there's a Japanese player ahead of me, they won't get removed from the CP points?
They don't get many points. So the points pass down. So you could get potentially 50th and still get top 32 points depending on how many Japanese players participate. Yeah,
you can get 50th and win.
That one's
true. If it's all Japanese players, above you, it's just probably not likely.
But like I said,
happen that way. But
last year it was the top 10 or 15 were mostly Western players, and then a whole bunch of Japanese players. And so like last year, top 32 was actually in the hundreds. This year, I think it'll be higher because more people are pushing for that. But I don't know that for sure. It could be that you could finish 100th or something like that and still get top 32 for all I know.
Yeah, I mean, now we have both sides. Japan have their safe range of top 120, and for us, in this championship points earning regions, top 32 is our safe range for getting a lot of points. You won't be able to as confidently call that range because you have to know that a number of Japanese players could be above you and not counted towards the standing. So if Adi was in the exact same scenario in one of these global challenges at 33rd, he'd probably be pretty I mean, he'd still probably be freaking out a little bit because he's Adi, but also he'd probably be, at least a little bit more confident that he could get top 32 because surely one person above him is from Japan. But now there's going to be like, where do the championship point players park? Where do the Japanese players park? Everyone's gunning for the top, like not quite the top, but
only park at first and nowhere else. If you're not at first, you keep playing. That's how this works.
It is a more fun way to do it. But and I've played out a lot of my GC runs the past couple of times I've done them. I haven't had any like really hot ones lately, but I've usually been playing my games to completion. However, if you're on like a really good streak, if you're like 23-2 or something like that, like do you keep playing? Do you stop?
You kill it. You keep going. You crush it.
It's such a really fun like dynamic to these things, the unpredictability, and like every time that we think we have it figured out, like I don't know, sometimes like it's still like a little bit hard to call.
Yep.
All I'm gonna say is my last couple GCs, I got bored about 5 games in and then stopped playing. So this time I'm confident that I'll just be more incentivized and more excited, and we'll see it through the end. And honestly, I'm probably free that weekend, so I might stream it to this channel. I don't really. I decided on my end, like I do not give a flying fuck if I qualify for Worlds this year. So I'm like largely just like trying to see if I qualify like through an auto qual. So like I don't care if I have a bad GC. So I'm happy to play some games on this channel.
Yeah, no, that'd be dope. It'd be fun.
Before we move on from this,
later, when I eventually give up.
What were you saying, Alex?
Before we move on from this, I do have a funny hypothetical, Adi. I'm just going to say, going into this next GC, it wraps up. I finish 150th. How safe am I in either region?
So I think if you finish 150th, you are probably safe in Japan, honestly. I think that the top 32, the Western players, will be in the top 150 for sure. I think that if you are in NA, you are probably looking at a top 64 finish.
Yeah, top 64 seems reasonable.
But that's not bad, right? That's the only question is if you want top 32, you might have to finish like 40th. That part's a lot harder because the gap between 150th and 40th is pretty big.
Mm-hmm. It's just super interesting to think about it, like because there's these safe regions now, but they might be like very different number of points and stuff because the different regions have different motivations. I don't know. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
You play to win, Alex. And if you're anywhere under first, you keep going.
Yep. I'm glad that somebody mentioned it in chat. We still have a couple of more weeks for them to announce that they're giving away the shiny ruins. There's 4 of these things. Like, come on.
That's true. And that's the other thing is that when they give out like real incentives to play in these tournaments, the number of people who play in these tournaments goes up dramatically. Insane. And so the ratings go up pretty considerably, which is also going to mess with all of our math as far as what a safe number is, right? So that's also another fun dynamic that gets added to it.
Yeah.
It's literally the biggest factor. Bigger than anything we've talked about before is if they're giving away a shiny Chi-Yu, like throw away everything we've said. There's all holes. It's crazy.
Like remember in like the Gen 7 ones when like they would give out Mega Stones and shit, like literal tangible items that you needed to play the game though in certain ways. Like those ICs were like over 100,000 people. Like not to like be like, haha, I won one, but like the one I won had 168,000 people that signed up for that tournament.
We were looking at this for the most recent one. Adi, didn't it have like 5,000 people or something?
The GC one was the biggest one, and it had just over 5,000 people eligible for points is what it says.
Oh, it does say eligible for CP.
Eligible points. Like,
okay,
it was
because if you take Rajan's 168,000 one that he won, how many people are eligible for points? Probably like 10. Like, probably
absolutely not the same number. Like, it was just they played their 3 games to get their Mega Stone and then they dipped, and it was just ridiculous.
No, Rajan, I definitely like feel you on this anecdote because I was also playing at the time and remember this fondly. But you got to remember that everybody that we're talking to is either a Dynamax baby or a Scarlet and Violet baby. It's like. These people don't know.
Mega Stone is a spherical object that you give certain Pokemon to so fucking
Wait,
Super
was
Saiyan.
a
Are these
It was a marvel.
spoilers for Pokemon Legends ZA? I don't think we're allowed to talk about leaks for Pokemon Legends ZA yet. Okay, I don't think it's
Sorry, Jody, what were you saying?
No, we still have like another year of Scarlet Violet, right? I thought they did the
Right.
shiny thing the next year. Like I'm pretty sure 2026. There's no Pokemon game that isn't ZA coming out in 2025.
What
right?
fucking
Well, yeah.
format are we gonna have?
Another year.
If we think Reg I is gonna be like double restricted, right? Like, let's just pretend that that's what it's gonna be, though. Considering that we got a Reg H curveball, we have no idea.
Yeah, we're getting
But
the mythical
assuming
format.
it's a double
We're fine-
restricted year,
We're getting the mythical format.
No
Throw
Terras. No Terras.
Oh, that's true. We could do that.
We could do Notera.
I do think
On
they
the real
will.
though,
They will patch
ahead.
the Legends ZA Pokemon into the game. We'll be able to transfer like Xerneas and stuff over, and they'll do another one with that.
I want
That's my
Ultra
take.
Beasts. I want Ultra Beasts and Tapus.
those guys were pretty funny. I don't know what format we're gonna be playing, but I will say that like it is around this like time in the game's life cycle that we would probably be expecting to see those shiny legends and stuff like that. So like it really feels like this should be like the GC that gives us shiny Chi-Yu and stuff like that. But whether or not we're playing Scarlet and Violet this time next year is a different question. But for like VGC at least. But I definitely feel like it's time for those shiny guys.
All right, y'all can keep talking. I just spilled water on my computer, so I'm gonna go dry that off.
Are you
Hold the
wearing
phone down.
pants?
Audie's got this. He's got this.
Is he wearing
Yeah,
pants?
we did mention most of the
Fuck.
potential candidates for alternate formats. You know, I don't know. Have you guys heard any other real ones? The thing is H was such a curveball that I'm not even that confident that double restricted is next for us, especially if Scarlet and Violet needs to be
Yeah.
played out
That's
for
what I'm
another
saying. Like, we
year.
could. That's why I genuinely don't know if like it's the world's format or anything along those lines. Just there will be a double restricted format at some point. Like in terms of just the history of the game, the lifespan of the game, there will be a double restricted, whether it's next year
Right.
or now. I don't want to see like a return to
Oh, hello.
like Reg A or whatever, because that's
Mhm.
what Reg H was, right? Reg H was Reg A essentially.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
We could see a
I-
rerun though. That's true. Somebody said Reg F rerun. Somebody said that we could do the DPP style for restricted bring two. Jody, did you play that one or no?
For restricted, bring two. That's
Or
I
like
played
you
that
could only
one.
bring two to a
That's-
battle.
Yeah, but that's not how that worked. It was just because you could only pick 4, but like it was no team preview, right? You just kind of
Right. That stuff was stupid. I mean, yeah, it'd have to be a modified version because things are quite different
Yeah.
nowadays. Lil Cup
think-
format? No, that's
yeah.
not gonna happen.
look
I
the
think,
format
like,
would be based as
realistically-
fuck. You get the one
Mhm.
Eviolite. I don't think Berry Juice is in the game.
Yeah.
It's true.
Didn't
Rajan's
they
got
give up on
a
y'all
lot of
and-
takes on Little Cup. Go ahead, Jody. Though.
Didn't they give up on y'all in the last season of Gen 8 and they just did a whole year of freaking Ubers?
They did.
double
They
They
did.
did the mythicals.
No, they did
The
a whole
mythical-
year of 2022.
Oh,
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
In
then-
all honesty, everybody gave up on that year, though, right? Like we had Dynamax, we had Restricteds, and we have no world champion. It's crazy.
We don't have any World's finalists. It's World's finals didn't happen.
2022 is not canon. That's I can say that much.
Do you see Daima?
But they did have the mythical format officially on Battle Stadium at the end of the year, which is what I really, really want to see. I think it'd be really fun to play restricteds, as many restricteds as you want, as many mythicals as you want, no holds bar, do whatever you want. I think it'd be cool. I really do.
That format was so dog shit. I cannot even explain. Like
It was
the
interesting.
only fun.
It was a change up.
The most fun I had in that format, and for context for newer players, it was like one of our Dynamax formats when we had no like real life events where they were just fucking bored. So they said, do whatever you want. Literally, we couldn't care less. Like the lights are off, no parents are in the house. We don't give a shit. Just do what you want. and it was any amount of restricteds, and then just like also take Selene and Zorora and Magearna and like all these mythicals too. The ones you can't get, figure it out. Like no one gives a shit. There's spaghetti in your cereal. No one cares. And like the only fun I had that format was Zorora, which has the ability Volt Absorb, and the move Plasma Fist, which turns normal moves into electric moves. And then slow Regieleki. And then you just press Explosion or Self-Destructor, whichever one you want. You have Plasma Fist, Explosion. And I don't know. It's truly, this was a terrible format. They were just bored.
All right. Just bored is so real.
So, should we talk about Regulation G now that we've talked about every other restricted format?
Yeah, why not?
We talked about 2010. We haven't talked about 2016 or 2019, and honestly, I commend you guys for avoiding those. But all right. So with that, let's talk about Regulation G. It has officially started as of yesterday, I think. There were like Regulation H events in January, which was kind of funny, but we have had a few bigger grassroots tours. And I think that, I know that we aren't very excited about it. I think there were some people who were excited about it, especially since the World's Championships did change things up quite a bit. There were some cool teams to come out of the World Championships, and people haven't had a chance to play with them. And so now people are really getting a chance to use some of those teams. And we've had 3 of these really big Victory Road tours that have gotten to showcase these teams. And it turns out that the teams that have done well are almost exclusively the teams that did well at the World Championships. I'm just kind of pulling them up one by one. I don't really want to talk about these teams individually because you should have seen most of these teams before. But congrats to Big Mike for winning the first one. The second one was won by Sam Penn.
That team was not a world team.
Yeah, that team's not a world team. We had a few non-world teams. The one that won 1 and the one that won 3 specifically are
3.
The third one.
It's
there was one last week.
Maybe it's
the
not
number after 2 and then number before 4.
Yes, I know, but it says it's challenge number 1 in January, so it's not number 3. It's number 1, part 2.
Yeah, and they're having another one this week.
They are number 2, part 2. Yeah. I mean, it is a different team, but it is. I don't. Sorry, I've not actually looked.
Don't you looking me in the eye, Jody, and saying that's a unique set of thoughts. Like I that's the issue, right? Like there is innovation in Reg G. There, like Worlds did show us how to take current archetypes and how to cultivate them further, right? Like the optimizations to Miraidon were reasonably interesting overall, and Luca's individual like EV choices were pretty interesting. Like there was development of Terapagos. It did standardize Zamazenta. We had some cool ogre teams. That Koraidon build sucks shit. Like there's just like stuff that like we learned about Worlds, but the problem is like innovation in this format is much smaller than at least now like it's how you use your small decisions, because you are required essentially to use the BST demons, right? Like you kind of have to, because everyone else is. And like the Miraidon team, for example, has 4 restricteds on it, right? Like it has Miraidon, so that's Super Iron Hands, and like Heartflame and Urshifu are like extremely good Pokemon that can win the games by themselves. And like you have to compete with stats, so it's like all the small innovations. But when you look through like the thing, it's just boring as fuck, right? Like it's even the extraordinarily exciting team like Diego's. Was Diego at Worlds like when he was popping off? Or was that at Nats?
That was Worlds.
But like even that, like that team was really cool. Frankly, it's like the only team that was like really cool. Everything else like but that's fine. It's just restricted. Like it's just innovation in this format. It's gonna look dumb as shit. Oh, and Yuda's team was like really cool. I forgot about that one.
I think we were talking about Challenge 1 and 3 being won by somewhat unique or like new teams, I guess is what the thought was. But like I don't know. Glancing at those, Adi, if you just like pulled up the team preview of the 6, like not even like the actual team sheets. I was looking at those and I was just like, Yeah, it's just like different flavors of the same thing. Like, oh, the fire dark type
Yeah.
is an Incineroar. This time it's Chi-Yu, and like this one has a Landorus. Usually you see Landorus with, I guess, Kali Ice. Now it's with something else. I guess that's cool and noteworthy. But like, yeah, a lot of it is kind of like what Rajan said, BST spam. And honestly, I think what the topic ties pretty well into what somebody mentioned in the chat here. Said, would you all consider Reg G a solved format, or is there still room for big surprise / innovation like Indie?
Like
Oh
Indy.
hell no.
Let's go.
I know. I almost wanted to leave out the last part that said like Indie. Let's leave the indie guy for last. Let's start with somebody else because I've been hearing that guy's voice too much.
I agree.
So, sorry,
what do
guys.
you think?
Sorry, no, I was fiddling with my computer. I hope that the audio wasn't too bad there. My monitor cut
I'm sorry.
out.
You sound underwater for some reason.
Do I actually?
No, he's good. He's good.
Okay.
No, Nash said I think Discord's being bugged. It's good now. Okay, so we might be
cool.
back. Regardless, though, let's.
So the question was: is there room for?
Yeah, go ahead, Adi.
So the question was: is there room for innovation in Reg G, and how much? And oh god, what did it cut out again? Anyways, all right, I'm out again. Y'all should talk.
Your audio's been fine, buddy.
No,
you.
I can see it on Streamlabs that they can't hear me, so I know that there's a problem.
Okay,
Oh,
Audi
okay,
is
weird.
I can see it on Streamlabs that they can't hear me, so I know it's a problem.
Rajan, if you could please just sign language interpret his words and just act them out for us. So, they said they can hear you, Adi. That's what.
Nash and Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe is notorious for lying, so like he might not be able to hear you.
All right.
Adi, is your
It was fine, but Rajan was opening his mouth.
Is your Discord not tabbed open? Is it like?
No, my monitor cut out, and I think it's because I spilled water on my computer. So I'm trying to like, it just kind of does that now. So I'm just trying to make sure everything's okay.
It's an amazing shot of Rajan.
I don't want to talk about Reg G so bad. I'm trying to get blacklisted from this stream.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. I see. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because the monitor cut out, and it's viewing my monitor, and I'm trying to get it to.
All right, I'll go ahead and answer the question while Adi works on technical. So, anyways, I honestly, I'm of the opinion that I feel like the format is mostly like solved. I think that there's some minor like innovations that we'll see going over the course of the next couple of months, and like, yeah, we've seen some like Groudon teams pop up in the online tournaments. I don't think that many like of the top competitors are playing in the online tournaments personally. But I just think that I think that for the most part it's going to be just like what Rajan was saying, very minor edits to teams, and like these decisions will make a large impact about whether you're running Rocky Helmet on your Incineroar or safety goggles, and like, oh, that's going to be like the big decision you're making on the Friday night before the tournament. But it's terribly boring compared to like other formats, I guess is what I'll say. And it does just, I've got no heart in the game currently. I have not played any Reg G because like it feels like there's very little.
Which makes you just as qualified to tier the mods as everybody else out there.
You know it. Let's go over to Jody. Jody, what do you think? Is Reg G like solved at this point, or is there room for growth?
I'm of the opinion that there's a clear five restricteds that are just so much better, and everything else is like a seasonal rotation, right? Like I think Groudon is a seasonal rotation. If there's enough Miraidon, you get the Miraidon bracket, or you get like a bracket that favors that you'll pop off. If the Kyogre,
it's not that good into the Miraidon bracket. I'm gonna be honest. But
I don't know, man. Look. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just like saying that like there's 5 that are clearly good, and even all those 5 still want like a pretty favorable bracket. And I think that the rest are bad. Anyone that's like still believes in Koraidon in 2025 is smoking crack. I think that like I've seen.
I will see you after I go 3-4 at San Antonio.
Yes. That's my current opinion. I just think that there's just a very clearly strong 5. And they're so far ahead of everybody else. And maybe we'll see innovation within those 5, but I don't know. I'm not going to waste my time using anything that's not in those 5, I think is where I'm at.
All
Tell
right.
tell them about Zacian. I played
I mean,
Zacian today, and I
You
hated
got
it.
first, Jody. You're gonna have to hit the Vancouver registration. So, like, let's be honest. You might not have
That's
the
true.
opportunity to waste your time playing the other five.
That's
Um,
true.
I guess it's just we have to think about Reg G right now. Like, it's a two-parter, right? Like, the first iteration of Reg G was where all the macro innovation was coming in, where there were a lot of like unexpected ideas about what would perform, what was good. Like, that was filling in the metagame. And like at Indy, for example, right? Like, and then LA immediately afterwards, and then NAIC. It was like back to back to back huge elements of like metagame development because we were still figuring out what was good and how it gets used well, right? And like, I obviously at Indianapolis was really the only person running Maridon, and that like changed things up quite a lot. And then LA reminded us that Kyric Shadow was like not a fraud, and then NAIC was a lot of refinements, like with the like Maridon builds and things like that. Like we were making the builds going up to this format. This year is about what our understanding of those builds will be, and then how do we take our understanding of those builds and then like read the metagame ahead of us, like, and then what of those micro adjustments like happen, right? Like it really can be a big deal that you have helmet on instant instead of goggles because you anticipated seeing a lot of Zam Pow, and then that breaks the Pow sash a lot of the times. If they're running more Ice Spinner than Icicle, like those changes are important, but they aren't flashy. But that innovation like might be real. Like for example, it could just be like you do see a funky item choice, so you see something silly like that, or you do in fact run Pow and Chiyu on the same team, and it turns out that that's broken, right? But those choices are because that Pow Zam player was saying, I'm having issues with Shadow Rider with this comp. If I put Chiyu on this team because I'm expecting a lot of Shadow Rider, I get to utilize Wide Guard from Zam plus Chiyu to threaten the other team, right? Like you're making decisions based off what you're going to see, but you're not like, no one is discovering something new this time. Like there aren't. It's not that there's frontier. Like it's you're going to take what we know and make it correct for the tournament in front of you, but it's not going to be like per se innovative.
So I have a slightly different take. It's in this similar vein. Obviously, like the good mons are good, right? Like the top mons are going to stay top in usage. I don't think it's going to change drastically, but I do think that by nature of so much of the power being concentrated in your restricted Pokemon, making meta calls is going to be valuable. Getting that edge, getting those 60-40 matchups instead of the 40-60s is going to be really valuable. And that is going to open the door for some unorthodox choices that hedge more like harder into certain matchups. For example, one of the big ones that we've seen in Victory Road that I wanted to talk about was that Groudon did really well. Obviously, Joe's in chat. Joe's been using Groudon. There were two Groudons.
That mon's a fraud. That mon's terrible.
So there were two in top 8 of the second Victory Road Tour, and there was another one in top 8 of the third Victory Road Tour. I've seen it a lot on the best of one ladder personally. And I mean, for example, like, is it a fraud? Like, I kind of think so, but is it good into Maridon? Absolutely. I can imagine it being quite good into Zamazenta, and I can imagine it being quite good into Koraidon and Kyogre, especially the Combine Kyogres. And so if your meta call is that Ice Rider is not going to be very common, which it hasn't been in these Victory Road Tours, then like that's
actually right. To speak on that, I think it's actually better into Ice Rider than Koraidon.
You think?
Because like a lot of the Ice Riders are like Terra Fire, and like something on the Sun team is going to threaten you to Terra Fire, like the Ogerpon or whatever. But then what does Koraidon do about it? It hits you with a collision course. Groudon's like, all right, Precipice Blade's super effective now. And you're like, oh, that's annoying.
Are these Groudon teams not running Flutter Mane? Okay, like Giovanni's is. I figure like the Flutter Mane causes the Koraidon to Terra, and then you just hit it with the ground move, right? Like
No. I'm saying Koraidon is not as annoying for Ice Rider as Groudon is.
You guys are just answering different things.
I see. Okay.
You guys are just saying different things.
I'm saying that Groudon is an interesting meta call in a metagame that has less Ice Rider. I think Koraidon is in a similar boat where it needs to kind of make that meta call as well. Although they I think I don't know. It's just like, and And then similarly, even at Worlds, right, we saw Pokemon like Dondozo do really well. Not a Pokemon that we've seen so far. It's going to come in and out of the format as people respect it more or less. We saw Iron Valiant do very well at the World Championships. I haven't seen a lot of it in these Victory Road tours, but it is like an interesting meta call. It's a decision. We see,
the Valiant was. I think Yuta's just kind of different, in all honesty. Like, which is, I'm not trying to not talk about it being like a good mon, but I think Yuta was fucking different.
Oh yeah, and Yuta's playstyle was very unique. He played such an aggressive style of play that I haven't seen anyone really emulate with Ice Rider. But again, like we see Regieleki do well. We saw Roaring Moon do well. Roaring Moon has picked up in popularity a lot. I'm curious if that's going to persist. So like there are again, I'm looking at Pokemon like Zacian that cut the World Championships. I'm curious, like I'm sure that has a pretty swingy matchup spread. So again, it's just like, but if you're gonna expect a lot of Groudon, you probably don't want to bring Zacian, right? Like it's one of those things where like as a result of the as a result of the power level, I think that we can see some very interesting meta calls. And some people maybe like high rolling their tournaments with unorthodox Pokemon that do well into the matchups that they see, right? So that is.
I'm gonna tell you something honest, Adi.
What's up?
If I was coming from the perspective of a Groudon player, let's say that I like Jumpluff for some reason and just like couldn't really.
This sounds very specific.
Let's say I'm coming from the perspective of a Groudon player. My Zacian matchup is not going to impact my decision to bring the Pokemon under any sets of circumstances. If I'm picking which restricted to bring, and if I have like this ungodly meta call that my Calmine Lunala team fucking smokes Zam, smokes CSR, smokes Miraidon somehow, like if that's what I'm saying.
But you lost a Lugia on ladder.
It smokes those top 5. And I could not give a flying fuck what my matchup is in a Koraidon, into Groudon, into Ogre at that point. I don't care. Like, that's what your meta calls are. It's at least in this right now.
And that is also like I don't know. I agree, but now I'm also curious because if that is the case, shouldn't you be deviating from the, especially I think of like the quote unquote, we call it Goon Squad, right? The Rillaboom, Incin, Urshifu, usually with Raging Bolt. Right, those guys are so splashable. Alex calls it the Goon Squad.
Goons, bro. What do you mean?
I got this. They're the goons, bro. I mean, you need to go pull up the suite.
They're just goons.
If you can run those, they're very strong. They're very consistent.
Wait, is Heartflame a member of the Goon Squad now?
No, it's gotta be. It's Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt's the member.
No, we can have 5 goons.
It's true. I mean, I'm looking at all these CSR teams right here.
Heartflame's a boy.
The tweet in text or voice.
How am I meant by that?
Pull it up.
Although, wait, I guess that's for you to pull up for stream, but for our Jody to look at because this is why they're the Goon Squad.
Heartflame's a goon, 100%.
Well, I think that, if you put Raging Bolt on the team, on these 3, then it's called Adi Balance, because I was the first person to ever use those 4 Pokemon in Regulation G.
It's true. Brother, this guy stinks.
Do I get royalties for every Miraidon?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think so. It's called the Rajan Core.
So
that's
bringing
true.
us back on the topic a bit, though, I think
Miraidon Brigarath, the Rajan Core.
Sorry, go ahead, Alex.
I do like. I've been trying to do a similar move, by the way, Roshan. I say that anytime that you have Fake Out plus Surging Strikes on the field, that's called the Underhill.
Wait, that's crazy. Hold up.
It's crazy. So yeah, bringing us back on topic, though. I think there's kind of an agreed upon top 5, and I think Adi, you said we were going to make our own quick tier list on this one today because there's not a lot to actually talk about. We can probably move on to start doing that.
Yeah.
And there's an agreed upon top 5 or so, and Adi's going to go ahead and assemble it now.
I'm going to ask the first question. I think there's only 2 questions that you have to ask when you're tier ranking this entire format. Is Ice Rider in S tier or is it in A tier? because it has had
and
a series of poor results in Victory Road. It only cut one of the 3 Victory
Yeah,
Road tours,
but
and there's
like
only
so
one.
did Maridon, man. Like, remember that fucking tournament? Like that set of stuff. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I agree. I'll put it next to you.
I think it's an But like, so the thing that I'm trying to make a point about this is that there's this agreed upon top 5, but the like relative strength of those mons at the like time in the top 5 might be dependent on what the metagame at the tournament looks like, and I think that's where the tournament meta calls are going to
drop Zacian and Groudon.
Because yeah, like, you know, Kali Ice right now, it seems like it's having a poor performance, at least online. There's like so many factors that you could consider, like whether it's, you know, the player base that's playing in online tournaments doesn't prefer to use that Kali Ice, like Kali Ice archetypes, or the good players that use Kali Ice aren't playing in online tournaments, or you know, maybe Kali Ice is actually
Maridon and Shadow Rider.
I'm gonna be honest. Just stop putting anything else in the tier.
Yeah, stop it. Like, delete everything.
right.
So I mean,
Dude, like everything else.
the only other question, the only other question that I think is reasonable to ask about this format is Groudon in B tier or is it in C tier after the series of good results?
See,
Yeah.
but Lunala and the other one are
I think Groudon's better than Koraidon, so like flip those.
That's untrue, but also who cares?
I think Koraidon's the biggest. I think actually, Adi, you're finally here. You'll get this. Koraidon is the Joel Embiid of Regulation G of Restricteds. It is the and for you, Rajan, Koraidon is like Vegeta. You know, like everyone hypes Vegeta up, and he always loses.
I have a 100% top cut rate with Koraidon, so.
Jody, you got to have one prepped for me. I'm sorry, you got to give me one. What do I get? What Marvel Rivals character is it?
It's Scarlet Witch, right? Everyone's like every bad player's like Scarlet Witch is OD, but then not use that all.
Koraidon is like the Sammy Sosa.
delete all the D and F tier because those aren't worth putting on there, and delete let's be a little bit more. Let's space out these tiers a little bit.
Adi, I have a suggestion for you. Raja doesn't have object permanence. If you just scroll up enough that they're not on screen, he won't even notice.
I want to use those tiers.
Rajan, the thing is, I really don't care about. I think that like, I really just don't think that. I mean, I think that we all agree that these are the top 5 Pokemon. I think we all agree that I think that you could make an argument that Ice Rider is closer to Zamazenta than it is to Shadow Rider. I wouldn't agree with that, but that is an argument you can make. I think the ordering of these 3 Pokemon, Kyogre, Groudon, and Koraidon, is like a point of debate. But I think most people put Groudon below these 2 and above Zacian and Lunala, right? It's somewhere in between. If you want to put another tier that is exclusively, like you could reasonably say, okay, there's a Kyogre tier, there's a Koraidon tier, then there's a Groudon tier, and then there's all these guys. But like,
yeah, I want to put Zacian, and I want to put Groudon, Zacian in the 1 tier, and I want to put Lunala in D.
I think it's all like so marginal.
Then why are we playing this game? There's no fucking point. We all know the answer.
I know. I said it was a 5-minute tier list. I think this is boring.
Take all the fucking tier lists that everyone else did that did the same thing and put them all in B tier?
Yeah, let's do it. All right.
This game's
that's what we're here. That is what we're here to do. But yeah, I'll say though,
a 6-minute YouTube video of the same like everyone put these guys up there. The only one that didn't is Michael. Michael said Kyros is A tier, not S.
Hey, I said that too. I said that too. I just want to put that out there.
First off, a lot of the tier lists are like, you know, just looking at them at a glance is like kind of pointless. You do need the explanations, and that's what the videos are actually trying to do. Maybe that's what we're trying to do here, Rajan. But also, I do think
this is so dumb.
Rajan confirmed skips to the end of the video.
Pizza sandwich. Do I have good news for you? Anyways, yeah, the I can't even remember what I was going to say at this point, but I do think that, like, you know, Groudon and Zacian, they feel pretty equivalent to me. I think that everything else is probably
Rayquaza and D. Hooray and D.
No,
I don't think Ray deserves it.
Then put Ray and E and drop everybody else off the fucking thing. No, it's not. Shazam says you're muted, and honestly, I'm super hyped that you are right now. Because
how did you mute yourself, man? What is going on today? He's having a day. What is happening?
Montana, can you hear him? You're the only person I trust.
Hello. Okay, here we go. All right. Anyways, point being, what I was saying was, I think that Rayquaza has not had a single day 2 at any event in Regulation G, and Kyurem and Lugia have both had at least one.
I don't care,
and therefore,
man.
and Lunala genuinely did do well at the World Championships. Brian Collins got 35th or something like that at the World Championships with it. So like that is the basis for these rankings. And Dawn Wings got top 8 at Japan Nationals. That's it. Like that's just in terms of results. I don't think that you can justify Rayquaza above E tier, even above. Like,
why is results the metric? These tier lists are just bullshit vibes for no reason.
I think results is a fine metric to use for tier lists. What do you mean?
It's the only tier list. It's because I hate this game. There's no point to these.
Well,
the only thing I can say is I am glad that the majority of tier lists have decided that Miraidon is the best Pokemon of them. And that does give me a small amount of pride.
I will say I want to judge
Jody.
the tier list on other criteria, and so I think that once we get to actually tiering the tier list, which maybe it's finally time, I think that there's other criteria to rank them on.
He has the same images 14 times in a row.
Okay. You know what? Watch. You'll see. Because there's certain vibes. You can tell if someone is trying to be crowd pleasing and if someone has an opinion. You'll be able to tell.
Like, you can't possibly mess this one up. Trust me, somebody's gonna mess it up, and we're gonna go find
this top takes. I started watching Aaron's Cybertron Zang's tier list video that came out today in preparation of this sub takes. I started watching it. And it's just fucking hours. There's no point.
That's the man. Roshan does not understand the idea of a bit of a joke.
What
Anyways,
is content?
The point being, before we do that, I do have to point out that Justin Tang. I mentioned this earlier. Justin Tang did steal our idea, and by that I mean he stole Jody's idea that we also stole.
And Jody stole this idea, which
he stole from Sierra. Which of course we did. Which of course he did post this video in between the announcement for tub takes and actual tub takes, and so we actually have to rank. We have to make a tier list of the tier lists before we do the actual tier lists.
Put Justin's in D tier.
All right.
You're muted again, or maybe not. I don't know.
I have entirely given up on my microphone, and I'm trying to use my my laptop mic now. Oh my god, this is a mess. This is awful. It's all because I spilled water too.
This is why I don't drink water, like at all.
Right.
You
gotta stick to Mountain Dew.
The only way to.
Anyways, so we got Justin Tang, and I think he's going in F tier because he stole our idea. He stole Jody's idea that we stole from.
Yep.
And then I think we go in S tier, right? Just because
I gotta say, Adi, what is the point of even doing this? I feel like Justin's should be in D tier. I think Justin's is at least D tier and not F tier.
What are bits?
As somebody who
bits
hasn't
are
watched
worthless.
As someone who hasn't watched it, I think that Justin's, should have its own tier. And I think
tier. I just watched it. It came out right.
It came out.
I think J tier is perfect.
No one's had time to watch this.
The video is longer than the amount of time between him posting it and Tub Take starting.
You could have watched it like 2x speed.
No, this is perfect. The F tier is now Justin tier.
Yeah,
I
Justin.
Literally cannot see it. Oh my god.
Wait,
right.
It doesn't look like it's for Justin tier. It looks like F Justin tier.
Oh, that's what it is.
There we go. All right.
New.
Quick,
guys, give Adi a break. It's his first time using a computer.
You can change the names of the.
This is a mess. It's such a mess. All right. Let's do the actual thing we're doing.
I'm gonna get flamed in the comments by that one guy so fucking hard when this goes on YouTube tomorrow.
All right. Let's kick things off. Let's do it. We got like I don't even know how many we got. But I have them all, and of course you all are gonna like the videos that you like, right? Don't forget to click on them. And of course, first off, we got our own tier list, which I'm putting in S tier because it's impeccable. It's perfect.
Sure.
All right.
And then put all the other ones in S tier because we're on the same fucking list.
All right, let's click on one. Let's see where we go. I'm just doing it. This is the Moxie boosted tier list. All right. What do we think of Moxie boosted's tier list?
I don't know. I've never seen any of these.
So hold on.
I'm gonna be honest. Oh wait, this sucks. Wait, hold on, Moxie. What are we doing, buddy? I thought you got better. What's going on?
All right.
You just said all the tier lists are gonna be the same.
What are we doing, Marco?
All right. Here's my comment. I was gonna grade most of the criteria. My criteria for these tier lists was going to be, one, do I agree with it, which is like probably like the standard criteria. But two, I wanted to look at the category names because I feel like a lot of people play around with the category names. And so if we could zoom in on those a bit better, at least I can't look at them very good.
Check Twitch, check Tub Nation. They're roasting your tier list on stream.
I thought that was what you were doing, but I also thought your Uber Eats was here, so I didn't want to like.
I will say though, saying Kyogre at the same level as like Zacian and Dawnwings just doesn't feel right, and so I do think that this has got to be like on the lower
okay, but
end.
let's look at the name of the tiers. I think the name. It says you need
right,
to
I do gotta look at the names.
And I think that I agree with that. You know, like think
the
about
thing is, if the tier list name is you need to make it your whole personality, that's a Koraidon ass fucking tier, right?
So
like,
true.
Koraidon has to be my personality, or I can't. Like, at this point, I'm running it at San Antonio. I am. I'm committing to you all right here, right now. Running Koraidon at San Antonio. Red bike. Gotta bike it up. I'm probably gonna run Kyrex Ice, but like, it's a personality trait. Though Groudon is aptly in here, right? It is a personality trait. People that like clicking P-Blades love clicking P-Blades right next to their sleep powders. People who like to use Zacian exclusively like to talk about using Zacian. So I agree with those.
Ian and Grant.
I've never seen a Dawnwing's personality.
That's so spam.
Oh no, it exists.
Literally just. Oh my god,
that's not no. But Dawnwings though, like the size spam player, Indeedee is their personality point. It's not the Dawnwings.
Yes, but they're using Dawnwings because that's the only one that they can go with their personality.
Okay.
Look up any Necrozma Dawnwing team. It's gonna have Indeedee, Lilycole, Ursaluna, and insert psychic Pokemon because that's all they do. That's
Necrozma. I don't know, man. I think that one is not recommended with day 2 as possible if you're like really, really, really good.
That's the content creator cop out. These are ass, but like, you know, just in case you put it in the thingy.
Can I make a point? I think if a tier list is ranking Mons like Cosmog, just in general, it is a dog shit tier list. Can I say that? I think you wasted time by putting those on there.
Didn't we rank it in ours?
I was telling him not to!
Is Cosmog actually F or is it E?
I don't know. I both disagree with these things substantively, and I also think that some of these personality traits are a little off. Because, like,
I think so. Truthfully, I think that even could win a major. Those are both personality traits too. So, like, honestly, if you think about it, the entirety of Regulation G is about making a restricted your entire personality.
So
It
it's
is.
the fact that any restricted is not in that column or row. It's a lie.
Yeah,
Our
so I
camera's
think
apparently frozen.
Oh yeah, no, I've spent the last 5 minutes trying to fix it while you'll talk about Moxie Boosted.
yeah. Well, we have a place. We're putting this tier list in in personality tier.
Okay,
Personality.
personality tier is. I think this is a solid start. And when you have one thing, you don't know what the other ones are like. You're supposed to put it in C, right? But I know this one's bad, so let's put it in D.
I'm sure. I'm with it.
Oh my god, this is a mess. I can't do anything. I don't think.
I'm having a lot more fun with this uptakes because the tech is fucked up than I would be otherwise. So
I'll see that. No. Oh my god, I can't do anything. Oh god, this is such a mess. Oh, this is awful.
Oh yeah. The tier list is not moving.
Yeah, no, I see that. It's
the
literally
only amount of movement on this screen is Adi like embracing his culture right now.
Adi's
It's
moving,
literally-
but yeah, we're frozen and the background is frozen.
Oh god.
But Adi right now, Big
it's-
Dog is.
No, it's not my headset. I spilled water on my computer earlier in the stream, and now my monitor does not respond to me, which is a concern.
Adi, if you need to like end the show early to make sure that your computer isn't fried, we can just do that.
The computer works fine. The oh my god.
Your monitor, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe, that's an excellent bit. Rating tub takes.
Oh my god. This is
Tub
awful.
takes episode tier
This is
list.
probably
That's
the
incredible.
best one of 2025. I'll say that. And it's probably,
agree.
hopefully, all uphill from here because yeah, this has been a pretty bad one.
This is
This
awful.
is my last one of 2025.
Oh god. I can't even put anything on
Antonio and not be invited back.
here. What if I just put my face on screen until we figure out what's going on? How about that? What if we just do this? You can't even see anyone else. Is that a good idea? Yeah, dude. Oh no, okay. That explains it. Alright, sorry. Now they can hear you. But they can't see anything still. God damn it.
This should
This
just
is
be
awful.
What you can do is you can unact. So you should deactivate the page and reactivate it. Also works in OBS.
I don't know how to do this.
Okay, here.
Justin,
This is gonna be
hold
tech
on.
support.
Oh,
Tech support stream. All right, what am I doing?
I got you.
Justin, buddy.
So whatever window capture that you're using for regulation G part, you're just gonna go to it.
Mhm.
You're gonna click deactivate, and then you're gonna activate it again. And that's just like an option. Like as soon as you click it, it should show you that you
Okay.
can deactivate it.
What if I told you I don't use a window capture, I just use monitor view?
Why would you do that?
Because that's a great question. You'd think that at some point I would figure out how to stream, but no, not at all. Oh god. I'm gonna try restarting my computer and seeing if that works. And we'll be right back, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, my audio is good now. It should take me 2 seconds to get your guys' audio. Properties. I just need any Discord channel. All right, Rajan, say something. You're the loudest.
something you're the loudest.
All right, cool. All right, so we might be back. I don't know. I just
We're
threw
so
on
back.
a blank Reg G tier list.
I got you. I got the tier list, and I got the links. We're chilling.
Good.
Adi
Okay.
spilled bathwater on his fucking computer and it's gone now.
Create a
Yeah,
Reg
I'm really
G
hoping this
tier-
monitor works tomorrow because it's not working today.
All right, guys, we're this. I don't know if this one's making it to YouTube, but we're gonna finish it for the sake of content, and because Moxie Boosted has to know where we put him. And so
Moxie agrees. You hate on the list in your stream.
wait, which one of these
Very
pictures is
true.
Moxie?
Um,
I'm kidding. I just wanted it to be like a. Oh, I don't even know who he is. Okay. I think Moxie's goes in C or D. I have it pretty low. I'm sorry. I gotta let me pull it up again. I don't actually know if I'm gonna be able to grab it in the right order. Oh wait, do I have thumbnails for all of these? I do.
D for boosted.
Yeah, D for Doosted. Oh, let's do Electric
Boost.
Wing while she's.
Yeah, let's run
we're
it.
gonna do this
Let's
one, which
watch it. Let's
I'm
watch
just going down the line, so it looks like we got Sempra's. Sempra.
What is that?
I'm not.
Clodsire.
Let me go ahead and try and share my screen so you guys can see.
I like
the
it,
end.
Marcos.
Let's go to the end. Okay,
What
boring.
is
B tier.
share?
B tier. Done.
That's a solid. That's a solid B.
Wait,
Oh,
no,
this
no,
one.
that's a no. Can we talk about there's a take here. Calyrex
What
Ice
is
is
the
above
take,
Calyrex
man?
Shadow. That's
What's the-
something.
what's
Ice
the
above
take?
Shadow.
Well, we're
Ice
gonna
above-
see up in here, and it's just gonna be like these are not ordered within tiers.
Do we have a bell curve type approach to this, or is it just where they naturally end up? Because like if it's just like the average tier list, does it just go in C?
Okay, I think Jody's right. If we assume that they're ordered within tiers correctly, saying that Ice Rider is better than Shadow Rider is a take. And I'm into it.
That's a fine take.
It is as spicy as I don't know. I think it's fine. I'm good for B.
So it's also from 2 weeks ago. So there's some context there. I also like Ice Rider was better than Shadow Rider going into the format after Worlds, right? I think that's a lukewarm take.
True.
That's a solid B tier take.
It's
I will
solid
say
take.
putting Groudon in the Zekrom tier is something too.
Right. Yeah.
So
I mean the
actually-
Zekrom. I think that was a content approach. Wait, who is
You're
the
right.
just Master Ball rank 1? How am I supposed to know which one that one is?
That's
And-
that's JPTK, the guy whose entire shtick is that he's rank 1 on Master
Oh,
Ball. It's like
okay,
Joe's
okay.
entire shtick was he was
Sableye.
number 1 in NA for a year, except
All right.
number 1 on Battle Stadium.
I know who everybody is, but I'm also like super nervous. I'm gonna grab the wrong picture at one point, and somebody's gonna be like, "What are you guys doing?" Sableye, you could not have picked a worse time to rate us. What are you doing here?
Thank you. Thank you for the rating.
What are you guys doing
Ryan,
here?
where is your Reg G tier list? We have to rank your Reg G tier list.
That's true.
Uh,
If you have a Reg G tier list and it's we already pulled it up.
Just pull the Tub one up and stick it in D.
I thought we already ranked Tub. We were S. We're Tub.
We were S. We had the best tier list.
We know what we're saying. We know what we're doing. It would be a very good bit to make our own tier list though, and just be like, yeah, I know we made that right now, but it sucked ass. It was terrible.
Speaking of tier lists that suck ass, pull up Collins.
I'm not going to be able to pull them up in much.
I
The
did not like
YouTube
the
links
list.
are just generic YouTube links, and so I'm just going to grab them in the order that I see them. So after Sempra's, we have that's a +1. I've made it to okay. Hold on. Wait, where's the final product? I need to find.
Hold on. What we have to talk about also when ranking these is length of video. That is an hour and 20 minutes.
That seems fine. Honestly, it seems fine if you're going into detail. I see no issue with going into detail. Okay.
Wow!
Looks like I think I found.
Where are the
What happened?
horses?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
They just weren't up yet.
Yeah. Sorry, you guys are probably on a mega delay. Wait, am I not? Are you watching it through Twitch, Rajan? I might be sharing screen in Discord now.
You're not doing anything useful. Oh, you super
you are.
I was watching through Twitch. All right, that's on me.
How do you?
I was
Ryan
watching
asked,
through
"How do you
Twitch.
make a Reg G video in hour 20?" Which
Okay, but Big Dog put Turtle in S and put Tyrex in A. That's kind of baller.
that's a take.
B for bold. B for bold.
I
B for bold is a good one.
So here's the other thing. There's also a massive C tier, which is just like look at that. That's not distinguishing between any of the Pokemon at all. There like you have to. That's the
hold on.
take.
I'm sorry. I honestly, it's gonna work. Instead of B for bold, just put it in D for dog.
It could be C for content creators don't want to make anybody angry in the comments here.
But
Like,
I think
look at-
Ice
look at
Rider
where
being
we-
that low is kind of like an interesting take. Being below Kyogre and Zama. We said there was an agreed upon 5, and Kyogre is listed above a lot of other things. Which is crazy.
Yeah, put
I
that
also
in
think it's very
dog
wrong, so
water.
I'm down to put it in D tier. But Adi, help me out here because I'm gonna grab the wrong picture. I think is it this
That's
one?
that one. Yeah, that's where you're at. It's the right one. It's the right one.
Okay.
That's D for dog, bro.
Sorry. All right. Let's see who appears next.
No
I'm going
offense,
over to
Phil,
Discord. Opening.
but-
Roshan, you thought
We
this
gotta
would
work
be
on
boring?
Wait, is this
It turns out
Adi's
people
video?
are bad. What do you want
Audio
from me?
video?
Adi, why is your video
have
linked
them.
here?
I don't actually. I just ranked them. I didn't have a tier list. But you can
Don't
check
have to
the
watch it, just stick it
description
in
for the
D.
actual ranking if you want.
Oh, but are you listed separate here? Oh, you are.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to
Yeah.
hear Adi. You get to shut up. You don't get to rank yourself. Rajan, what do you think? He has. You know what? Honestly, the most. Here's the best way to look at it visually. Is Adi has it listed here in the chat.
Callie, Zama, Turtle, whatever, boring. Ogre, Trick Room, that's not a Pokemon, you dumb
Right?
fucker.
I know.
Zacian, Koraidon, Groudon, whatever, it's a B tier list.
It's a B tier list. Jody, do you agree?
Wait, who's the tier list? I can't see the.
This is
Oh.
see, the thing is, it's not really like we're looking at the order of the numbers here because
What is this? Oh my
It gets
god!
B for making us look at the topic as opposed to being a list.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were rental codes, dude. It was.
No,
I'll give it a B.
it's got to be lower than that because this is not user friendly.
True, I
No,
can't
I
look at
mean-
her list and then be outraged. That's not a good tier list, you know. I need to be
This
mad.
makes us
when I look at it.
read. Like reading.
I'm a
All right,
Best
the
thing
fourth
is
one
C
here.
for
It looks like
making us
we
read.
got Joe's. Okay, Joe does have
This video
different.
is a good length. 25 minutes is a good length.
I agree with that.
And it looks like Joe has good names.
Yeah.
Like he's got like if you paid me $1,000, like he admits that there are certain ones that are throwing.
Do you need $1,000 to play a tournament with Lunala? You privileged fucker.
I think if you're in Joe's position, yes, Roshan, because like he could probably earn more than $1,000 by using the restriction that he planned to use. So
I was taking that from the perspective of someone who sucks.
for it, you know what? Ask the right person, and like, yes, this is a great value deal for them. If you're good enough at Pokemon, you might be able to make a little bit more.
I like this.
This
tier
is
list.
this is a good tier list. This is the
Yeah.
right length. It's got good names. It's got a little bit of a hot take with Terapagos over Ice Rider, but that's okay.
True.
I think this is like a solid A tier list.
We can put this in
I
A.
support
I'm
it.
down.
It's A for being a 25-minute video. I think that's perfect.
Length is
I
good.
think
Length
it's
is good.
I think it's the closest thing to S I've seen so far.
Yeah. I don't know if anything's gonna get close enough to S though. Unfortunately, it seems kind of just unattainable. My standards. All right, we got Clover Bells.
I do want to say I appreciate that Clover Bells put a bunch of them in don't use tier before the video even started. That is already a good start.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
the
just
thing
like-
is, though, if we're doing that, you need to put more of them in that, right?
They're
That's true.
actually, you know what,
True,
Adi,
like
if you're gonna skip these are the ones that are like easy skips. Probably could have skipped some of the ones that were also like, I don't know. You could have skipped Giratina.
I just saw that Hoa was tiered. Put this.
Hey,
Um,
I played against an Assault Vest Ho-Oh on ladder with Thunder.
And
I mean,
I
Ho-Oh
mean,
is in
that's
working
it.
way harder than needed tier, and I think that's an accurate assessment.
okay,
Better
I like
than
it, I like
Niche
it. That's a great
for Groudon Lunala, sure. Yeah, this is probably... Is this... I was going to say this is basically our tier list, but I don't think we've hit a Jinx yet, a Ditto, or, the same exact tier list yet. I thought it would happen sooner than it has.
I'm gonna be
But,
honest, I also thought it would happen sooner than later.
right?
Yeah, I like it. That's a solid A. I would have
That's
said
a B
C.
tier list. That's a boring list. There's nothing
Okay,
interesting
it
there.
is a boring.
No hot
Maybe
takes.
because the video is 45 minutes long.
True.
All right, going on to the next one then.
Joe's 25-minute
Mighty
video
Sun.
should be the standard.
No, this we just did this one. So then nope, that's the wait. Adi, did you link the same? Adi, I think you linked the same one. No. Okay, the end of the links are like the same. It was tripping me up. They're all ending with like.
we get to rank. This is Tang's tier list, and we've already gotten mad at Tang's tier list of tier lists.
Mhm.
Is this
This
not
not
restricted?
legendaries.
I don't think
Like,
Tang
not
ranked the
restricted.
restricted Pokemon in a video. from what I could tell.
Oh, why is this here?
All right, well, I'm sorry, Tang, but you didn't follow the criteria that we set, and put your videos in here, so you're getting a separate tier below.
Put it in the J. What was it? J. Fustin. F.
Wait,
Justin.
no.
What was it?
F. Justin.
It's important to know Joe's fighting back. Sempra and Justin did their the restricted one on Sempra's channel.
Then
Okay.
drop it a rank lower.
Oh, they joined Sempra for that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't even read this because I made the background black. We're gonna have to pick.
Well, that means Sempra goes in Justin's here.
No,
I
Sempra
don't know
can
why
be...
you're being a dick to you right now, though, Tang. I'm quite fond of you.
Well, no, it's just because he did the exact thing that we were gonna do before we did it. He just kind of like.
That's true. He is the enemy right now.
And so I'm sorry, Justin, you're a fine guy, but you did kind of do us like that. Without knowing that we were going to do this at all. We did not call dibs on the bit, but
I'll let you know. He posted his video after we announced we were doing it on TubTake, so he did steal our
That's
idea.
true. You were supposed to delete the content.
I'm pretty sure
And
he actually
I will
recorded
do
the
it
28-minute
again.
video after I tweeted and uploaded it immediately before TubTake.
Also, I don't
So-
normally share my screen. I didn't realize that I have like screenception going on, like below Jody, above me is like you can see the tier list and the tier list, and like I'm sorry, guys. I was not expecting to have to be streaming today.
I'm
Let's
also
keep it
sorry.
going.
This has been an interesting stream.
Is this next?
I
This
think can we put
is,
audience C though, because his tier list was in the in the comment thing.
All right, we have. Wait, why is this the most replayed moment? Oh, it's when Cosmog got raided. Of course, that's what everybody's here to hear about. I was like, why is that a huge spike? He saved it for last. Anyways,
Zhang's
though,
tier list was very, very fine.
This is B for boring.
it's like
I love
I
B
think
for
it's
boring.
I think it's C for boring. Like I don't know. Like there's just what do I even say?
So
about
he
this?
okay. Here's my pitch for why Aaron's is like better than some of the other ones. It is considering the reach of his channel and the explanation he was going for. He talked about all the restricteds and got there in 35 minutes. I think that's a great video for what he's trying to do. And the tier
Yep.
list was fine.
All right.
This is one of my
Lucky
locals.
Wolf.
Actually,
I think.
can we get Zhang and A for Aaron's here? I think that's it.
I'm fine with A for Aaron. I'm fine with A minus for Aaron.
Make
Sure.
a separate tier just for him. We've already
Yeah,
done it for
we did
Justin.
for Justin.
Yeah.
So I believe
my God.
Lucky Wolf is one of my locals. She fucking clapped me in an MSS one.
I do remember this. Yes.
Hell yeah. Looks like we have like a decent amount of zoom there. Okay, cool.
You
We'll
were
zoom
there?
out.
What do you mean you remember this?
I remember this. Don't worry.
You were
I
there.
also remember this. Okay, wait. We do have a hot take. We have Zama in S tier. And then Kyogre and Pagos also both in A. And then C for content for everything below the like usable level, which that's probably pretty
C for
accurate.
content
Make
is
some
a-
pretty good YouTube.
That's
I don't know
fair.
if I agree with the take that like Lunala feels like B in terms of like my expected success rate at a regional bringing Lunala or Kyurem White or anything like that. I feel like you should go a little bit further. Like I just feel like the gap between Kyurem White and Miraidon is bigger than S to B. And so that part feels inaccurate, but putting Zama in S, I do like that there's some like originality here. So Lucky Wolf, is it the one with the dog? Oh,
Yes.
the dog.
Yeah.
Honestly, loving the dog. I feel like it's probably going to go in C tier because I think that
so.
unfortunately you got to have a bit bigger of a gap there.
C for content creator.
True. I think a
I
lot of
say
think
people are.
that's
Oh,
fine.
C for Colin. What's Colin
Wait, is this
doing?
a Justin tier? It's too
Put
boring.
Colin and Justin tier.
That's the we already did this one tier.
Dude, I don't watch much of Colin's content,
Right.
despite talking with Colin all the time. And I honestly didn't know
Well-
Colin had a green screen. He has green screen. That's cool.
The reason you don't watch much of his content is because he doesn't make that much content.
I thought he does.
Why does he? What's the point of that?
To be fair, Adi, I think I'm slightly with Rajan on this point because it doesn't actually matter how much content Colin makes. I wouldn't watch it.
I watch his content. You need to make more videos, Colin.
I
crazy.
I don't watch VGC content. Like, as you can see, like, I am just putting my YouTube recommendations on blast here on YouTube. Like, I'm watching Northern Lion and Marvel Rivals videos. Like, that's what I'm watching. So,
Wait,
and then like Blunder, of
because
course.
Colin
Somebody
shouted
just-
this out in his tier list. That bribery does like bump you up a rating.
Yeah,
or
B
flattery.
for bribery tier.
B for
What?
yeah.
I was tuning out from the description. What? You know what? I'm gonna follow along. Let's just go for B for bribery. All right. You know what? Fine.
Can we
It is
Oddies
a
in
B for
C?
boring tier.
Can we put Oddies in C, please? I am
Maybe.
not joking.
No one
Okay,
else
JP
for rental code.
JPTK.
It wasn't a tier list.
It wasn't a tier list. It's true.
All right.
That's, it's an
You know
awful
what?
tier list for the tier list.
We can. Oh, what? I was playing it. Whoops. Go back. Pause. All right. Oddies can go down to C. I'm down with it.
Thank
'Cause
you.
it wasn't a tier list.
All right.
It was informative and helpful in a different way, but you know, I'm sorry.
Hey,
Oh,
anyways.
this
kinda
is- whoa, Cal, you're like Shadow and damn, you can tell this is a 2 weeks ago tier list.
2 weeks ago,
This
things have
is the
changed a
person
lot.
that, like, this is the person that's been like popping off on the in game, right?
Yeah.
They're-
They've got
they're-
Dawn Wings and Duskmane in B, which again is just nowhere near
With
enough difference
Ogre.
between that. It's got Cali Shadow at A. Like, this is a problem because, like, I don't know how to differentiate between, like, you have a hot take, I'm glad that you've spoken up about it, and you're just wrong. Because, like, there is also that. And, like, Cali Shadow in A, like, I don't know about that. Ice Rider #1? I don't believe my guy is top dog. I'm sorry. I'm an Ice Rider main. And, like, everyone's going to say that about their restricted. Like, oh, I'm not actually the best one. You should worry about somebody else, not me. But, like,
They're playing
this is just wrong.
I think so. There's a couple points. I think the 25 to 35 minute video is ideal. So it does like hit the video length for the tier list. I think that's fine. But I agree with you, Alex, that like the thing that like is really hitting me is what B tier means to these people, right? I don't know why I said these people.
Right.
That was weird. But like
I get it.
what B tier means.
Yeah,
And you're right, like if Koraidon is sharing the same tier as what is that in the crossbow form? What's the
Duskmane.
lion one?
Duskmane.
Yeah, like if that's just poorly thought out. That is a solid D tier list. I apologize.
I'm what is the snail's thread? I'm just gonna open it up. Let's go for it. Oh yes, the Astral Shadow Rider suffers from its own kit. The latest joke that we've been going for is that Shadow Rider suffers from itself now, I think. Something like that. Because like most Shadow Riders, the most annoying matchup is just the mirror. They just like make each other miserable. They all have to run Terra normal just for each other. And if it wasn't for that, they would be running another Terra. And so now I think
They're not
it's just,
running Terra.
they're
normal.
still suffering from their own. Oh no, that's what it was. The format suffers from CSR's kit. That's what it was. Including Shadow Rider though. It's not exempt. Anyways, we got to rank JPTK's.
This is a D tier list. I'm sorry, it's not just in tier, but it's a D tier.
Adi, what do you think?
I agree. I think that if you have to distinguish between the Pokemon, right? Like that's the same thing with Philip's list, was that he had just a massive tier where like with all the bad Pokemon and some of the like usable Pokemon were all in the same tier. And you can't do that. If you're making a tier list, you got to actually rank the mons.
Like what we did.
Like what we did.
All right, next up here is
Jody, how do you feel about that? You haven't really you haven't been as you haven't been particularly caustic this year this top takes.
You know, I'm just here for the ride. Long time, not a short time, or whatever they say. This is a 24-minute trailer.
Long
Oh,
time,
get this
not
out
a
of
short-
here. I don't know what this is.
What
read the title.
is
What is
based
it?
on how
Seething
angry they
Rage?
make me?
Oh wait, that's awesome. Hold on. Wait, this is extraordinary.
I you know what? This is honestly one where I might actually have to go watch this one. You've intrigued
This is
me
the
enough
best tier, I
because I
think.
need to know like what kind of criteria we're basing this off of. Is it because you've
This-
like you're playing against
I
them?
want to know what Luke is doing up in there.
I love it.
Lugia is clicking Lugia is clicking is next to the Mux Miracle stuff. Like I understand that makes me angry. I don't know what
This
Kira
is-
Black is doing. But
This
I
is the
agree. I
first
think
tier
it's S tier.
list. This is the first
y'all-
tier list we've opened up that I want to watch.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
you guys don't watch Andy Law, he is my favorite VGC content creator, bar none. I love his videos. They are awesome. He's an S tier, man. I put in that nest. That's a
I
great.
don't want to watch any of the other ones we pulled up on. I think I put them all in like.
Well,
Eh.
no, that's us. That's us. That's Sandy Law now.
I'll go and put it up
Sandy
in
Law.
S.
I'm gonna
Alright.
watch this video. And also, it's how angry they make me, plus perfect video length.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have
All right,
skipped one
D tier.
somewhere, but anyways, we got Gomez's. All right, Gomez has good tier, Culo Grande, Bien, Chernobyl.
I just don't like Spanish humor.
Culo
Just drop this in
Grandote.
deep.
How is
I'm gonna be
what
honest.
is wait
Chernobyl tier, like okay, buddy.
Chernobyl tier is crazy. Anyways, though, in terms of the actual takes in it, they look really safe. Honestly, very similar to ours. I'm surprised we still haven't hit
4 weeks ago.
an exact copy yet, but yeah. Jody, you can't keep getting away with this.
What did Jody do?
He just said you can tell this was made 4 weeks ago. He said that every single time. You just look at the date it's posted, and he's like, you can tell it was made yesterday. Like, what? Shut up, man. Regardless, though, where are we going to put Gomez's tier? It's very safe. The length is good.
The length is good, but the video, the funny makes me mad. Like
I want to put it in B tier, honestly, because he's giving a tier list that's in non-English. So you know what? Good for Spanish-speaking viewers.
True.
fine. I
B
will
for
give you that.
Spanish.
B for
B for
B for
Spanish.
Espanol.
Yes, B for
Espanol.
Espanol.
That's España.
The list is fine. He distinguished between the guys. He doesn't have, but I just don't think that the words are funny.
All right, Electric Wind Girlfriend. This is another. Oh, this is non-restricted. Okay, so we're gonna have to put this is going in Justin Tang tier then. That's
Yes.
Yeah, not playing the game.
I'm sorry. That you know what? It's not even your fault. Adi put you on the list. I don't know why. That's my fault for giving you Justin tier, but you're in Justin tier. I'm sorry, Electric Wind.
To be fair, Supra's tier list should also be in Justin tier because Justin was there for that video.
True.
No, but see, you're not understanding what Justin tier is. Justin
That's
tier
true.
is you didn't
Well,
follow the
yeah,
rules.
I understood F Justin tier. I don't understand Justin tier.
Justin tier is
We
that
do.
this is not a restricted tier list. It's a non-restricted
Alright.
tier list.
Then we have to put Adi in Justin tier because he ranked Trick Room.
He did rank Trick Room. That was a pretty big offense. Okay, we got 45 mice here. Where's Dondozo? Why isn't Dondozo on the list? That's all that guy's ever tweeting about is this
Okay.
Dondozo team.
So the tier list is fine, but he gets points for tweeting and not making a video. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, sometimes you need the explanation, Raj, and you also are completely, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Why isn't this just a really long tweet?
Because I don't want to give Elon money, man. What do you
Why
mean?
is Tub Takes not a really long tweet?
Grunt.
It's
I think if it was on Blue Sky, I'd make it A tier, but because it's on Twitter, it's got to be B tier.
right.
Also boring as fuck. I do think his working harder than you need to tier could be distinguished a little bit more finely. But like it's also objectively
So
true.
if you take Wendala, if you take Koraidon off that list, it's just will miss the important moves tier. It's also an apt name.
I'm
And
gonna
then
say it. I think Terapagos is working harder than you need to. I'm gonna say it, but whatever.
No, I think
you're just getting 30% less stab for some reason. It's kind of crazy.
I think Terapagos is working harder than you need to.
Does Koraidon really
just-
not? Does Koraidon have like friends that miss moves? It doesn't really, right?
No, not really.
No,
like
Draco
just
on Raging Bolt's
Chiyu.
like the only thing.
And like
It's Chiyu and Draco on Raging Bolt.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not really an archetype associated with inaccuracy. So yeah, it does kind of like not fit in there. Regardless though,
Yeah.
that's not really the criteria. Where do we put it?
No.
B. C,
B.
B, C, B.
B, B.
Yeah, you
okay.
can tell this was made 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell. Quite obvious. Icy Wind on Flutter.
You
Yeah, I
can
mean, if we're worried
tell.
about Icy. I feel like I might have skipped one somewhere, so I'm going to have to go find it, track it down. The only viable tier list from MDB, this one, you can tell it was posted today. Because...
It really was posted today.
And, sure enough, it's got only 2 in the champs tier. Future winners has 3 with Cali Ice at the bottom. Feels like it's a pretty reactionary response to Cali Ice doing poorly in the online tournaments. Then you have the actual weather setters tier. Then you have the Groudon and other guys that like to miss their moves tier. Challenging yourself is a pretty funny way to put it. I feel like we've seen a bunch of different variations of that in terms of naming that this tier, where it's like you're working harder than you need to type tier. 1 day 2 max, really bad and unplayable. Okay, so
I like that Michael thinks Koraidon is pretty good, and as a result, it's a S tier list.
He was
Yeah.
the original Koraidon player. He was the first person trying to really make it work, and then
And
he
you know what
decided that yeah,
We
he dropped
he
it
gave up
a
on
week,
it.
2 days before the regional for Zamazenta and won the regional because he cut it.
Listen.
Yeah, the only thing is that he didn't put Zama in S, and so I feel like he's lying.
He did put Calyrex as the worst of the top 5.
So
that's
where do we put MDBs?
Is it
I think
is it D for your bestie or is it B for bestie?
I think
Where's
it's A
that?
or S.
I think it's A for Michael.
That's
Yeah.
true. A for
Yeah.
Michael. I can support A for Michael.
Yeah, Eichel.
All right. We've got this VGC with hats tier list from Rafa. And it's got the big 3 followed by Kyogre in the little 3, I guess.
Hold up, no date posted? Oh, I know this came out 2 weeks ago.
No,
dude,
I think
this
it
was
was
out, like, 2 days ago.
I was gonna say
Two-
I'd say 3.
2
Unfortunately,
days ago.
Rafa, Ogre is not on Sam tier.
Also, Rafa, I'm sorry, but I'm not reading all that. I need that read to
Yeah.
me.
That's
What?
true.
Wow. Zoomers.
I need this in a video.
I need this in a 30-second TikTok.
I am glad that someone wrote up their thoughts and posted it online as compared to making a video. I have a ton of respect for that. I'm glad that the written medium is not dead yet.
Have you read
I think
it?
it's a fine tier list.
Did you read it?
I did. I actually did read it.
I'm
read
giving it
some
an
of
A.
it.
I'm giving it A because reading is easier than watching. Well, listening is easier than both. And I feel like that's all you need to do for
We
tier
can
lists.
give Rafa's an A, but I don't, and I love Rafa. I think the justifications, from what I recall, were just like because the mon is good. Was like a lot of like what it boiled down to. It's like the rating is the rating because the mon is this rating.
I mean, sorry, I'm not going to be able to debate that because I'm not reading it.
I also didn't read it, so no.
Anyways, we have one more. Jody, I don't see
in
yours
text
in the
voice.
link here.
Yeah,
In
it's
text
in
or
text
voice.
or
Let me
voice.
scroll up. Let me scroll up.
It's right there.
Um,
Oh my god, there's so many in text voice now.
There's a lot of things. I found it though. Is it just this
Yeah.
image then?
Yeah, it's just the image. That's all you got to worry about.
Open the link. Boom. Okay.
Open the long.
Okay, beautiful. We skipped a tier. That's how we do it.
Yes, thank you. I just I have to be honest with you guys. Like honestly,
Yep.
it's just true. You can read that too. There's such a huge gap between these. If you see anyone place any of the below mons next to the one above, they are lying to you.
I will be
Can we
playing
all
one of the
agree?
below ones, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
That's the
Thank you
Rosh
for
special.
thank you for reading it, Jody, because I wasn't going to read it because I feel like I was doing a disservice to Rafa by not reading his and reading all of that. That's just too much.
Of course, no, I understood, so I read it for you. Don't worry.
I appreciate it.
There is such a huge gap between these. If you see anyone, blah, blah, blah. I honestly put that above ours.
I was saying this is an easy A tier. I like it in A. I could see it being S as well. Because I do just agree with all the takes here. Nothing really to elaborate on, but your points are justified.
Can we put a tier above ours and then leave it blank and then put that tier above that one and put Jody's there?
No, there's such a huge gap between these tiers.
Between these tiers. I agree.
We'll have angry tier above everything.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Because the angry tier, like, I actually want to watch it.
Oh yeah.
I also want to watch that video.
That's true. That's the best video.
But until somebody makes a 30-second TikTok that I can watch that explains to me how all 30 restricteds compare to each other, I'm not going to...
Subway Surfer in the background.
Yeah, it's got to be played over the background of, like, a Minecraft speedrunning course or something. Or parkour course, my bad. Something like that would probably be able to keep my attention. But anything else... Maybe some Marvel Rivals gameplay, that'd be cool. Regardless, though, not to dash out the door or anything, but I do have like a coaching session basically now, and so I was gonna wrap up the stream kind of like an ASAP angle. What do you have any other action items, Adi, that things we were gonna be talking about this week after the tier list?
Right. We had the calculus right, but that's okay. This stream has been kind of a disaster, so I'm glad that we actually got through the important stuff.
Right, we don't have a calculus right prepared, by the way. You know that's not true.
So if you actually, you know what, this one might not be going out on YouTube. I don't know how I'd pull that off. It'd be a lot.
But if you guys want to watch better Tub Takes episodes, go to the YouTube link. That's where you can find real episodes that didn't have what happened here happen. And anyways, let me figure out really quick who we should throw a raid to. I feel like I broke Adi. Adi can't show his face, man.
This is a great one to end my career on this channel.
That's true. This is the last time we're having Rajan on for reasons that we will not get into. But you know, it's been a pleasure, and yeah, honestly, I don't even feel like I kind of don't want to do a raid.
So bad, no one deserves a raid.
I should go find a raid, but I need somebody to go find one for me because I am just sharing. I'm just sharing the window I'm using for Chrome.
We want to do we can do Master Mark. Master Mark is streaming.
I honestly. You could have just made me guess, and I would have guessed that Master Mark was streaming right now.
It was always... This Tub Take sucks so much shit, you all should just go do something else.
Alright, I'm gonna go play Catan.
In Jody Link.
Yo. Alright, you guys have a good rest of your night. Thanks for hanging out.
Yes, because I've been telling them the horror stories. I got you.
Alright. Good night, people. Have a good one. Catch you later.
Have a good one. See y'all.